All right, yeah, well, thanks for having me here. This is such a great community. I think the last time I was here was for the analytics one, and it really inspired me to go back and do some digging at my company. So as you can see now, I kind of do some analytics work on top of the SEO work that we're doing. So I'm just glad that I got that opportunity here, and I'm just really happy to be here. Thanks for the introduction. Like she said, I'm Noah Turner. I'm a senior SEO planner at FRWD. About a month ago, Leela asked me to come up here and talk to you guys about video SEO, which is good because that's something I know something about. So hopefully, after this, we'll just talk about some of the best practices, and then after that, if we have some more advanced questions or anything like that, we can get to that stuff later. So I wanted to start off by just talking about, just kicking this whole thing off with probably the #1 question that people ask me. And whenever we talk about video or anything like that, usually my friend, anybody who comes up to me who knows I'm in this industry, whether it's clients or anything, they say, no, I'm thinking about doing this YouTube, or thinking about doing this video. What's the first thing I should do? Should I upload it to YouTube or should I host it myself? What do I do? And the answer I usually tell people is, well, it depends. Usually most people, they usually just go straight to YouTube, but I ask those people to kind of go back and say to yourself, I wouldn't be so quick to do that. Let's talk about your goals, right? Because there's negatives and there's also good things going on when it comes to YouTube. One, YouTube's obviously a really big, search engine. If you put your video up on there, you're going to get a lot of good visibility. But when you put your videos up there, how often do you actually watch a video and then through all the clutter that's on the page and all the advertisements and the new movie banners that are going across the site, do you actually click through into a website? Not that much. So let's say if driving traffic to your site was one of your goals, YouTube might not be the best medium for you. You might find it that hosting a video through a third party or having the host on your website might be a good thing for you. How much control do you want over your video? When you upload it to YouTube, it's not exactly yours anymore. It's YouTube's. They can put advertising on it. They can, people can pirate it. They can download it. Anybody can embed the video on their site. So you're losing a little bit of control when you do that. How much time do you have? If you're going to host the video yourself, you're going to have to find a third party. You're going to have to get a developer to code that. How many videos are you planning to launch within the next year? Do you guys have time to do that? Is that being built into your schedule? And then the next thing, of course, always is money. YouTube's free, Vimeo's free, all those kind of third-party hosting sites are free. If you're going to host it yourself, it's going to cost money, and it's not exactly the cheapest thing to do. So I'm not saying do one or the other. I'm saying just definitely have that conversation before you figure out what to do with your videos. So what we're just going to talk about is hosting videos. Talk a little bit about research. Talk about some of the best practices, Schema Markup, video Sitemap, and then how to kind of QA it, how to QA your video once you get all this stuff done. One good thing, the last time I was here, I like these presentations, but I'm really bad about remembering stuff and writing stuff down. So hopefully after I believe they post all these presentations online after, and I put a lot of good links to a lot of good free tools, and I put even some of my favorite YouTube videos from last year that you guys can click on and watch there. So should definitely check that out and download this. So first of all, when you have a video, and we're talking about optimizing, right? So first thing we want to do is make sure if we're going to put a video up on our website, or if we're going to put it up on YouTube, we want to make sure that it's visible, that people can find it easily, that you can do that. So what's the first step to that? Just like in any basic SEO, if you're going to launch a new web page or landing page or anything like that, you want to follow the same best practices, and what you want to do is start with some keyword research. Now, if you're going straight to YouTube, YouTube has actually its own keyword tool, which I would probably give a C to a low D in terms of its usefulness. It's not very good. It's a good starting spot, but if you're trying to get some really good keyword tools or good keyword research, I would stick to the tools that you usually use, like AdWords, word tracker, stuff like that. Another good place to start is just by literally going to YouTube or going to Google Video and typing in your subject there, like I did for this, snowboard tricks. And it kind of just gives you some good keyword seeds. And then I would take those seeds and bring them into some of your other AdWords or some of your other word tracking tools to kind of fine-tune your keyword research. So, you've done your keyword research, you got your video together. What do you do with those keywords? Well, just like on a landing page best practice, anything you would do for a regular SEO page, you want to go ahead and work those keywords into your video content, right? So you're going to want to title your name just like you would a title tag on a page, on a SEO page. You want to work that into the file name actually of your video. You want to work all those keywords into the descriptions of your video, and you also want to make sure that you transcribe your video. And I put a star up next there, and actually took an example from I believe that is I ripped that out Moz. And every Moz video they have, they literally type out every word that the guy says in the video. And the reason that they do that is because Google has yet to discover how to watch a video. I'm surprised that they probably will figure it out how to do it one day, but they still can't do it. So actually transcribing your video and having that in there will give the search engines a pretty good idea of what your video is about. And then now, even if you upload it to YouTube, there's actually a transcribe option when you upload a video to YouTube, and it will actually transcribe all your content for you, and it will actually follow along. So as you watch the video, it will scroll the actual words of the content while you're watching the video. It's something that a lot of people usually don't do, and it's not for everybody. Like, for instance, if you have an e-commerce site, you're not going to transcribe all your videos on your landing page for your product and stuff like that. But it's definitely a good practice to follow. If you're going to host your video on your own site using a third party, or you're going to embed it on the site, make sure that you take those keywords and put them into your landing page as well. So just like that, the title of the page, the content, and make sure that it's as close as possible it is to the video, because Google will take proximity into getting your page to the top of search results as well. So you've got your video, you've uploaded it, you've embedded it on your site, or you've hosted your own video, and you've made a landing page and you got it up there. So you're in good shape, but there's a couple more things that you can do. And I'm not sure how familiar a lot of you guys are on the Schema Markup. It's basically a type of vocabulary, a type of HTML markup that you can apply to features on your site that just kind of give the search engines a better idea of what content's on your site. Now, Schema has a list of a variety of stuff that you can do, but there's one specific for video. And there's a couple of things that you can do it, and there's a couple of things that you need. You need to make sure when you do it that you include these top 3 things. This is your name, description, and your thumbnail URL. And what that helps the search engines do is display your video better in search results. So when you mark up your video like that, that's a couple of examples that make it. It gives it a nice, good-looking thumbnail, which can help click-through rate people clicking in through your site. And then there's a couple more options that you can do that as well. But that's definitely one thing that I would recommend after you get kind of your basis set, is to set that up there. And like I said, if you guys download the presentation, I put a link in there to show you exactly how you do that. And there's a lot more documentation on that. But that's definitely something you should do. So you got your video up, you've marked it up with Schema Markup, and the next thing you want to do is put together a video sitemap. Now, the basic definition for a video sitemap is exactly what it sounds like. It's an XML file that you upload to your site that is basically a map of all the content on your site, web pages and stuff like that. Well, what they actually do now is you can make one specifically for videos. And just like your Schema Markup, you can actually upload this to your site, and it will give you the search engines a better idea of what your video is about. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. The easiest and the best way to do it is to use a free tool. I put 2 links up in there. If you're using WordPress, Google's got a great plugin that you can use. Another one that I've used is A1 Sitemap Generator. They'll crawl your site and put kind of all the information. I still recommend QAing it before you send it up to your site, but that's the easiest way to do it. If you're like me and you kind of like to do all your own stuff, You can do it manually, and but if you're going to do it manually, those are the these are the type of descriptions you have to or the type of information you have to upload your video sitemap. So if something like, if you look on the right-hand side, that's kind of an example of what that sitemap looks like. If you look at that and you want to scream or pull your hair out, or it's just confusing, I would recommend sticking to the automatic free tools. But if you're a little more technical, I would definitely recommend learning and trying to figure out how to do your video sitemap. And there's also documentation online. Google has a great documentation in their webmaster forums to tell you how to do that. So you got your sitemap, and the first thing you want to do is make sure that you upload it to your site. And this can be really easily done using webmaster tools. As you can see, this site already has one of the sitemaps in there. And what you can do is actually upload a second sitemap, an Excel video sitemap. So you're going to want to make sure after you create that sitemap to make sure you QA it and upload it to your webmaster tools. And another reason I recommend doing this is once you upload it, Webmaster Tools will tell you if there's any errors in it, so you can QA it, fix it, go back and do it. So that's definitely one way that you can do it, and probably the easiest way to do it. So yeah, we've kind of gone through all the stuff. You've done your keyword research. You've put your video up on YouTube, or you put it up on YouTube, then you've embedded it on your site. You know, you've optimized the page. Once you got all that stuff done, you went through and marked it up with Schema Markup, and you created your video sitemap. You're kind of good to go from there. That's kind of the really good best practices to have when you're doing video search. So the next thing you want to make sure you do is actually QA and look what your videos look like when someone searches for them. So what you can actually do is use the nifty site command, which is just putting that site, comma, and then your site in parentheses there, and it will actually pull up all the URLs from your site. And if you've done it right, it should pull up all the videos that Google has indexed for you. So as you can see here, I did a DIY network, which I figured would have a lot of videos, and that they did it right. And you can see that this guy's got his video indexed very well. So he's got a good thumbnail image, he's got a good description in there, and stuff like that. And that's all done well for video optimization. So that's exactly what you want it to look like when it pops up through there, when someone's searching for you. So yeah, so just a quick summary, just to recap kind of what I said. Think before you YouTube. I'm not saying it's the worst thing. It's actually a majority of what a lot of clients and a lot of what I see out there is done. But just make sure you have that conversation before you do it. Start off by doing keyword research, just like you would on any SEO project. When in doubt, stick to SEO best practices. Use your keywords in your titles, use them in your descriptions. Make good content, make good video content, good shareable content. Make sure to put schema.org, markup on all your videos. Create a video sitemap, that's very important. And then monitor your video performance over time. Make sure that you're checking in your analytics or your YouTube analytics, see what's working and what's not, and then make changes if needed. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn. Feel free to email me. The last time I was here, I actually had tons of questions after the presentation, and I reached out to the guy on Twitter, and we kind of solved the problem together, so I'd love to do that for someone else. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me.